is Alda Andani, and today I would like to present my intercultural communicative competence or ICC ELT material and entitled The Art of Politeness Navigate Tunjuk Ajar Melayu, British Ethic and Digital Citizenship.
Before starting the lesson, let's look at our learning objective. By the end of this lesson, students will be able to identify politeness value in Malay culture, British culture, and digital culture. Students will also be able to compare this culture, use polite English expression, and reflect on cultural difference respectfully. These objectives are connected to intercultural communicative competence or ICC, which help learners communicate effectively with people from different cultural backgrounds. Let me start with a simple question. Have you ever unintentionally offended someone because you did not know their cultural norms? This situation happens quite often in intercultural communication. Etiquette refers to social accepted rules of behavior within a particular culture. These unwritten rules guide how people greet each other, communicate, apologize, show respect, and interact in social situations. What is considered polite in one culture may not be considered polite in another culture. For English language learner, understanding etiquette is extremely important because it helps prevent misunderstanding and promote effective communication. 3.4. This presentation examines etiquette through three cultural lenses: local culture, target culture, and global culture. Let's begin with our local culture. Tunjuk Ajar Melayu is an important part of Riau Malay culture. It consists of moral taking, advice, and guidance that help people live respectfully and responsibly. These techniques are passed down through families, tradition, literature, and community practice. Tunjuk Ajar Melayu teach people how to speak politely, respect others, and maintain harmony within society. In other words, it serves a guide for good character and proper behavior. Several important values can be found in Tunjuk Ajar Melayu. These include respect, courtesy, humility, harmony, and social responsibility. These values are closely related to the concept of Budi Bahasa. Budi Bahasa means having good manners and showing kindness through both language and behavior. In Malay culture, polite speech reflects on a person's character. 3.4. Being polite is not only about choosing the correct word but also about showing respect and consideration for others. Next, let's move to British etiquette. British etiquette refers to social expectation and polite behavior commonly found in the United Kingdom. British people often value punctuality, fairness, privacy, and consideration for others. One famous example is queue culture. When waiting for a service, people are expected to stand in a line and wait patiently for their turn. This behavior reflects respect for others and fairness in public space. Several values influence British etiquette. First, privacy. People generally avoid asking personal questions too early. Second, punctuality. Arriving on time shows respect for other people's schedules. Third, queue cultures, which promote fairness. And finally, indirect communication. British people sometimes soften their opinion or disagreement to avoid making others people uncomfortable. Because of this, learning needs to understand not only the word people say but also the intended meaning behind them. British politeness is often expressed through everyday language. Words such as please, thank you, and sorry are used very frequently. This expression helps create positive interaction and show consideration for others. British people also use a small talk to begin conversation politely. Topics such as weather, hobbies, or daily activity are often considered safe and comfortable conversation start. Now let's discuss global cultural through digital citizenship. Digital citizenship refers to responsible, safe, ethical, and respectful participation in online space. Today, People communicate through social media, emails, messaging application, and online learning platform. Because communication happens so quickly online, it is important to think carefully before posting or sharing information. A useful guidelines to ask three questions: Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? This question help us become responsible digital citizenship. Digital citizenship is built on several important values. These include respectful communication, responsible social media use, digital ethic, and online empathy. When communicating online, we should use respectful language, verify information before sharing, and respect other people's privacy. We should also avoid harmful behaviors such as cyberbullying and plagiarism, because online messages do not include facial expression or tone of voice. Empathy becomes especially important. Now let's compare the three cultural contexts. Tunjuk Ajar Melayu emphasize harmony, respect, and humility. British etiquette emphasize privacy, fairness, punctuality, and indirect communication. Digital citizenship emphasizes responsibility, safety, and empathy in online environment. Although these cultures express politeness differently, they all encourage respectful communication and positive relationships. Despite their difference, these three cultural contexts share several common values. They all promote respect, responsibility, politeness, and empathy. Whether we are communicating with family members, strangers, classmates, or people online, this value help us to build positive interaction. This shows that politeness is a universal concept, even though its expression may vary from one culture to another. To help students apply what they have learned, the first activity is an intercultural role play. Students imagine a situation where a Riau student and British exchange student work together on a project. They must discuss meeting schedules, responsibility, and communication rules while using polite English expression. This activity helps students practice both language skill and intercultural awareness. The second activity is a structured debate. Students discuss this question: Is traditional politeness still important in the digital era? Through this activity, students practice expressing opinion, agreeing and disagreeing, respectfully and supporting their ideas with logical reason. The final activity is a cultural reflection. Students compare their own communication habit with the value discussed in the lesson. They reflect on what they already do well and what they would like to improve. This activity encourages self-awareness and critical cultural understanding. To conclude, today we have explored politeness through three perspectives: Tunjuk Ajar Melayu as local culture, British etiquette as a target culture, and digital citizenship as a global culture. Although each culture expresses politeness differently, they all emphasize respect, responsibility, empathy, and consideration for others. Understanding this cultural perspective can help students become more effective communicator and more culturally aware English user. As a future English language educator, we should integrate local, target, and digital culture perspective in our teaching so that students can become effective intercultural communicators. Thank you very so much for your attention. I hope this video has provided useful insight into the importance of politeness and intercultural communication. Have a wonderful day. I'm Aldede Andani. Thank you.